going to take a run through the burns real quick. First burn we'll go to is Jason's burn. Oh So Pine. I told you guys what was wrong with this horse, what I thought was wrong with him because of the medication they used to keep him dry after he raced, his lungs dry so he wouldn't bleed on the stake race day. I think he had a little reaction to some of those medications and his liver count jumped up. Now, for those of you that are trainers out there, you know when the GGT, the liver count on a horse gets up high, they can't function. And that's exactly how it looked, like he couldn't function his last stake race. So his GGT was around 60, 61. Need to get it down well below 20. That's going to take a little bit of work, but Jason and the veterinarian will get to that. They've already started to get to that. See You in Tuscany, we're going to try and find a soft race for him. Listen, if See You in Tuscany doesn't come around, we can sell him privately on Gate or to somebody else, or we can bring him back here and race him in the 3-year-old condition claimer at Mohawk. We do have options with this colt. We got to get him back on track. Jason thinks they found some things with him. We're going to see. Proof's in the pudding, as they say. We're going to see next week. West 52nd is going to be entering the Lazex program. Many of you don't know this, but West 52nd getting beat at the wire for second in 53 sprung a little leak. About a 1.5 out of 5 for blood. Sure, you can dry that up, but again, you're getting into giving them a bunch of medications I don't want to do. You know what? This is why the Lazex program's here. I know there's a lot of discussion in North America right now, but the Lazex program, it's a bunch of crap from where I come from. What I'm looking at, I think the Lazex program is exactly what it needs to be. And I'm not going to separate thoroughbred and standardbred and say, oh, it's abused. I'm not doing that. All I know is the standardbreds we race. We do the best job we can to get them the races. We help them out if we can. And if they bleed, I am going to put them on Lazex. It only makes sense. So West 52nd will be entering the Lazex program. He'll be in to go probably next week. Yes, is in to go. I think Jason said he goes for $15,000. I believe he's entered in to go this coming week. Our Vica race great out of the 10 hole, finished second for Jason the other night. She'll be joining Harry's barn at some point over the next couple of weeks. Bay Jewel is leaving us for the sale tomorrow. Ivanka has gone. How did she do? I thought she raced last night. I missed that. Ivanka is out in Chicago right now. Not an Angel, small little injury to her left hind leg. We're getting that looked at Tuesday. It's going to be a little setback for her. And then Simba, of course, he's now gone to John Boutenshane in Pennsylvania. I'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk about Angie Coleman's barn. She's got a barn of 2 now. Harry's barn, Kevin's barn. A few more stables to talk about in just a minute. Be right back. We're back now. We got another small barn, a new barn. Angie Coleman's got some horses. She got Lincoln James out in Illinois. He's going to be making his Chicago debut, I believe, next week. Ivanka, I should have looked and see how Ivanka did. Ivanka, I thought, raced last night. I apologize. She's out there racing right now. Not an Angel. I got her down on Angie's list, but she's actually not going to be joining Angie for a little while. She hurt herself last week schooling. Olympic hopeful didn't. She looked great today at the open house. She'll be joining Angie around the 15th of June. So that's Angie's barn. Be back in just a minute with Harry's barn. We're going to run through Harry's barn quick now. We're going to start with Casanova's Jewel, qualified the other day. I talked to Steve Palermo, one of your partners, my partner on the horse. Good points made today. No point in racing this guy in the B tracks. We didn't buy him for that. We didn't keep him for that. We're going to requalify this horse on Thursday. Had a little vet work done to him last week. We're going to roll him up into Mohawk this Friday morning and get James to go with him and see how he is. Dance Hall Babe made a break out of the 10 hole. She's got to requalify. Want to get a little handle on her. I don't want to put the hobbles on her, but I will if she makes me. And Dance Hall Babe will be into requalify next Friday. Final Answer, a little setback there. I think we're going to send him up to Jared Bothwell and swim him for a little bit. Hasn't gone yet. That little lingering injury right hind is still there. It's not getting any worse. It's not any bigger. They said he was sound the other day, so we're going to continue to train him when we can and not when we can't. Little tiny setback last week, but he's almost perfectly fine now. He'll be just fine. Just a tad. James schooled him the other day after he made a break on Colin, and he blew a foot separation, this colt. He's going to be off 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get it right. Delcrest Star Angel has not gone over to Harry yet. She's still in Jason's care, with Jason's guys here. Now, Jason is leaving full-time after this weekend, so Delcrest Star Angel will be entering into the Harry Poulton stable probably after this start, maybe, I think probably after this start. She made a break the other night, broke her head check, and was refunded and got an equipment break. She'll be racing again this Friday. Screaming Hawk is going out in the field for a little bit. Screaming Hawk, I told everybody he made a break. I said, this colt's too fast. He's just not physically mature yet. I'm going to turn him out in the field. So that's exactly what we're going to do with Screaming Hawk this week. Sunshine's finest. How tough's this bugger? I think he might be healed up for me. All he needs left to do now is get a CT scan, put a screw in a little fragment of his cannon bone to put it back in. Now, I don't know how long that takes. I'm lying. Maybe 2 months, but maybe 3. I don't know. But he's sound right now, walking on it, which is incredible. This is one tough bugger. I'll tell you what. You know, eating his feed and out playing and nickering at everybody today. Just a nice horse. Can't wait to get him back at it. Sunshine Inn was not herself the other night. A few little things we're working on. She's going to be in to go next week at London. The Butler did it. Butler, you're heading to the sale tomorrow morning. The Butler did it. We'll be heading to the sale for a number of reasons. War We Ultra. Horse race good this week. 4th in 56-2. Probably tried a 57-1, I'd say. I had told Peggy and Ken before the race she's ready to probably go in 57 in a bit. She did. I didn't get to talk to Jody about her, but I assume he was pretty happy with her. White Tiger now is in New Jersey. He's gone to the Andrew Harris barn, so he's not in Harry's barn any longer. Scratch him off the list. He is in New Jersey, where he'll probably qualify next Saturday at the Meadowlands, I would assume. Then we have the babies. We already talked about them, but I'll run through them quick. Capistrano was good today, 2.7 last half in a minute. Giddy Up Max was also good today, 2.8. And Utopian made a break, and then Louis was way, way back with him. So he didn't get much of a mile in today. We'll get to that this week. Be back in a minute with Kevin's Burn. And then we'll tell you about who's going to the sale. Here with Kevin's Barn now. Kevin's Barn's going to go through a little metamorphosis tomorrow as he has 3 horses leaving for the sale. First 2 horses on the list will be the first 2 out. Be My Delight, Better Call Mike, both leaving for the sale tomorrow. Buckingham's not going anywhere. She bled her last start. She's on the Lasix program now. She'll be racing. She'll be racing next week somewhere, I would assume. Cruising with Angus, hasn't started training back yet. Lots of jogging miles getting into this guy. He looked great. Horse was a little flat the other day. It was cruising in style. We're going to draw his blood tomorrow and see what's going on with him. It was a horrible track, but at the same time, he was kind of ordinary. So we're going to make sure that everything's right with his blood before we go again. Hard 8. Talked to our clients the other day about Hard 8. Hard 8 has an active offer on her from somebody from the States. I think it's a fair offer, so they'll probably take it. Hard 8 may be leaving also. Holding Steady, he's going to the sale tomorrow morning. Master Saver and Road Tripper, they're not going anywhere. Road Tripper is a big splint that was bothering him. They scratched him the other night because he jumped on his foot in the field and he was a little pinchy on it. And they said the splint was really, really sore also. Hold Master Saver raced well, finished 3rd, just got beat for 2nd the other night. He'll be back in to go this week. Time O Houdini is a trip to the Golds at Flamborough on Sunday next week. Time O Tulo, non-winners of 1. Grassroots aren't for a couple of weeks yet. Non-winners of 1 for Time O Tulo at Mohawk on Thursday. He should get in this week. Go run through his babies quick. Don't believe me, just watch. Look great today. Marzank Hanover made a little break. She was better afterwards when he went with her. Developed a little splint on the right front that we're going to get looked at this week. Nothing major. Other than that, pretty good. Need Your Opinion was lights out. Very, very good for Kevin today also. We'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to tell you what this is. This is a list of all the horses heading to the sale tomorrow morning.